Hello, I'm Dr. Diane Dreher, Professor Emeritus at Santa Clara University, lecturer for the Positive Psychology Guild, writer, and author of The Tao of Inner Peace. And these days, I believe that education is absolutely vital to develop our hope and resilience, to find new possibilities in our beautiful but troubled world. In addition to the wealth of knowledge in science, literature, the arts, and technology, there's the essential education that dates back to the ancient Greeks and the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, the education of knowing ourselves, which includes knowing our strengths and developing greater emotional intelligence, the ability to find greater peace within and then around us. So first of all, we need to know our personal strengths. We all have a unique set of strengths, and we need to discover them and develop them in order to fulfill our potential. As the Tao Te Ching tells us, and as I write in the Tao of Inner Peace, each one of us is unique. Not even identical twins have the same fingerprints. And we each have our own cycles of energy, our own creative possibilities, our own strengths. So a few years ago, positive psychologists Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson conducted this incredible international study of all the cultures in the world looking for character strengths. And what they found, going back in time to the earliest recorded literature, religion, philosophy, reading through all that, they found that no matter what differences we have that divide us on the surface, beneath the surface, all world cultures agree that there are 24 character strengths common to humankind. And among these strengths are courage, perseverance, love, spirituality, creativity, and more. So the psychologists developed a VIA character strength survey, which they put online so that people can take it for free to discover their strengths. And their top 5 strengths, going from 1 to 24, because each of us has all 24 strengths, except some of those are more fully developed and relevant to us as individuals. Our top 5 strengths are called signature strengths. And they found that people who use their signature strengths on a regular basis are healthier, happier, and more successful. So as a college professor, I asked all my student advisees to take the survey to discover their strengths so that they could use them to move forward in their lives. And progressive companies have their employees find their strengths too and use them at work so that everyone benefits. That's one way we can know ourselves. But another way, and perhaps even deeper than our strengths, is emotional intelligence, a wisdom that dates back to the Tao Te Ching. Again, as I say, and write in the Tao of Inner Peace, we need to cultivate greater peace within us in order to create greater peace around us. How do we do that? One important way is learning to deal with our stress. The stress reaction obviously helps us when we're in an urgent situation. We get into fight, flight, or freeze. We can, jump out of the way of a speeding car, and the stress reaction can save our lives. But when stress becomes chronic, what happens is when we're under stress, we don't stop and think. If we stopped and thought about it, we wouldn't have time to jump out of the way of a speeding car. It would be a fatal flaw. So when we're stressed, our higher brain centers are offline for that purpose. But when stress becomes chronic, it becomes problematic. And without thinking clearly, we can react to someone who disagrees with us as an enemy. We can see all of the possibilities in front of us, and there are multiple possibilities. The Tao Te Ching says we live in a world of 10,000 things. That was 25 centuries ago. That was a lot for them back then. Now we have billions and billions of possibilities. But under stress, we see either or, all or nothing, win or lose, and can too often turn conflict into combat with disastrous results. So the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching and some of the practices that I show in my book, The Tao of Inner Peace, show us how to stop that stress reaction when it becomes chronic, how to take deep, mindful breaths, center down, and recognize that there's a center of peace within us that we can draw upon for greater wisdom and possibility. The National Hopeful Mindsets Project, which brings greater hope to college students, in which I'm a consultant on. The first step in developing greater hope, they say, is to deal with stress, to pause when we find ourselves stressed, unless it's an emergency situation, and to take 3 deep mindful breaths to center down so we can think more clearly and solve our problems more wisely. And when I would teach my classes at the university, I begin each class with a simple guided meditation so that all of us could center down, listen, and learn with each other and from each other, and think more clearly and open ourselves up to greater possibility. As I write in the Tao of Inner Peace, we can and must these days create greater possibilities around us by discovering the source of creativity, the source of peace within us. Or as Gandhi put it, we need to become the change we wish to see in the world. And education on all levels helps us do that. So as a writer, a college professor, and a human being committed to creating greater peace in this world, I encourage us all to just pause, take a deep mindful breath, and realize that there is more within us than we could ever have imagined. To study and learn from the wisdom of nature, which teaches us that our energies can make a difference and that we're part of the creative energies of this beautiful planet we call home.